Okay, guys, welcome to our next session of our Spartans workouts. Thank you for joining me. As always, hopefully everybody has calmed down with all the excitement of the interview yesterday. So we are going to be working through quite a bit of high intensity interval training today. It's going to take a similar structure to what we did last week, in that we're going to be doing a few rounds of 45 seconds on with 15 seconds of rest. That is followed by the final round of each block will be 1 minute of each exercise with 0 rest all the way through. The good news is the blocks are a little bit shorter than last week. So last week we had 8 different exercises. This week we have just got 4. We've just got 4. Even one that's only got 3. But we will work through that as we go. We're going to start off with, as always, with our warm-up. And for once, we're not going to have walkouts as part of that warm-up. So we're actually going to start off with a set of get-ups and then some hamstring kicks, which I'll go through in just a second. So what I want you guys to do for the first 2 minutes is going to be 3 get-ups, and that's just going to be lie down onto your back, from there back up onto your feet. When you've done 3 of those, so there's number 2. When you've done number 3, so lying down onto your back up onto your feet, you're then going to come back down onto your back, and I want you to do 10 hamstring kicks on each side. So just one leg straight, one leg bent, kicking the straight leg up, trying to kick the ground behind your head. As soon as you've done 10 of those on that leg, 10 on the other leg, and then you go straight back into those 3 get-ups. So we're going to go for that for 3 minutes, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. Off we go. So we are lying back into it. As you lie back, as you lie down, try not to use your hands on the floor. But obviously, if you need to use your hands, if you feel you're going to fall, absolutely use your hands. But do your best. Try and keep your hands off the floor during the get-ups. So if you are flexible or more flexible than I am, you may be able to go from just one really deep squat right back onto the floor. You probably heard through my voice the impact of me hitting the floor there, because I'm not quite flexible enough to do that. But if you can get back up onto your feet directly, again, not flexible enough to do that. So I go for the next stage, which is to go onto one knee and then onto my feet. You can do it in as many stages as it takes, as many stages as it requires. Just working between those. Okay, guys, keep going. You're just over a minute gone. Okay, just over a minute gone. We're going to continue with those get-ups even at the end of the 3 minutes. So it's only 3 get-ups. We're just going to change. We're just going to change the exercise in between. So the 10 hamstring kicks, a little bit of a warm-up for the hamstrings. So again, one leg straight, one leg bent, 10 kicks, quite dynamic. Try and kick up and over. As you kick up, you feel that stretch coming down through the hamstring. And it's just 10 reps. As soon as you've done 10 reps, swap to the other side. Same thing on the other side. But it's 3 get-ups, 10 hamstring kicks, 3 get-ups, 10 hamstring kicks. Now we're going to try and be quite bouncy through today's workout. Reason being, we've got to get ready for playing rugby again. And as much as we want rugby to be a controlled sport, whether you play contact, whether you play O2 touch, it doesn't really work out that way, unfortunately, a lot of the time. Okay, guys, you've got under a minute to go in this first section. So under a minute to go in this first section. Keep yourself working. What we're going to look at next is going to be the next little bit of the warm-up. It's actually just for the lower back. But like I say, as rugby on the field tends to not be as controlled as we'd like, maybe in a gym environment, we're going to basically prepare our bodies for that by being a little bit more explosive, a little bit bouncier, what you kind of try and replicate a little bit more on the field. Is what we try to do. Okay, guys, keep going with those 3 get-ups. But every time you've done 3 get-ups, this time I want you to come into 5 rocking your knees from side to side. So windshield wiper style. So again, knees bent. You can have feet off the floor like I'm doing, or you can pop feet onto the floor. and go into that rock. Good news is there's not going to be another 3 minutes of this one. We're going to do 1 minute of this one. So we're changing over to that now. So again, 3 get-ups and then 5 rocks to either side, okay? So 5 rocks to either side. You either do feet on the floor or feet off the floor. And again, it's just that twist from side to side. Try and keep your shoulders flat on the floor as you go. That's that nice twist, nice movement around. Let's keep going. Like I said, we're only going to do that for 1 minute. Then we introduce the next section. So you might get 1 round of it, 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds if you're particularly quick. But it's 3 get-ups, 5 of those. So it's always going to be 3 get-ups. We've got another couple of exercises. We're going to come into some prone swims as the next one. The next one's prone swims. We've still got another 20 odd seconds before we swap to those. So the prone swims, you'll do your 3 get-ups and then you'll lie on your belly. But I'm going to demo this here. You'll have your hands behind your back, lifting your hands away from your back, twisting up, overhead, and back down. And you'll do 10 of those. That's that twist, just nice and smooth. Trying to keep your hands away from your back as you do. So not resting on your back, you're trying to keep them away from your back, away from your bum. That's that. Squeeze that rotation up, getting the shoulders moving. So you'll be doing that one face down. We're going to change into that now. So again, belly down when you get to it. 3 get-ups, and then it's hands off your bum, hands off your back, stretch out, overhead, come back. And it's 10 reps. Really getting the shoulders moving. Real nice one to get the get everything moving effectively. Trying to get through it. So again, that nice reach overhead. Again, we're going for just a minute on this one. So it's really focusing on getting the shoulders moving through that range. So if you're looking at that from the front, it's that reach overhead, reach back down. Really trying to get the shoulders moving through a full range as much as you can. Because we want to prepare the shoulders for what's ahead. We also want to prepare the shoulders for playing rugby. If it's an uncontrolled situation, there is always, no matter what sport you play, no matter what you do, there is always an associated injury risk. Some things greater than others. And you want to prepare your body for that as best you can. So it's 3 get-ups and then those rotations from the shoulders that reach overhead and come back down. So we're coming to the end of this one. We've got 1 more. This is going to make things a little bit more active now. You're still going to do those 3 get-ups, but this time, what I want you to do, every time that you have done your 3 get-ups, you're going to roll over straight away. You're going to come into 5 quick press-ups. Now, when I say quick, if you need to, you drop to your knees. And again, it's just that 5 quick press-ups and then straight back into those get-ups. So we're going to get the heart rate up. Off we go. We're changing over into that one now. So this one's going to last 1.5 minutes. So 1.5 minutes altogether, 90 seconds. As many rounds as possible now of 3 get-ups. Following those 3 get-ups, it is 5 press-ups. 3 get-ups, 5 press-ups. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between those as quickly as you can. Like I say, 1.5 minutes in total, 90 seconds, starting to get the heart rate up. You'll get a little bit of rest at the end of this one. A little bit of time then to get through any extra mobilizations you feel you need. Let's keep working. Still got another 35 seconds remaining. Now, because some of this workout ahead is quite bouncy, if you need to throw in an alternative, absolutely go for an alternative, guys. Throw in something that you feel more comfortable doing. At no stage should any of these exercises be painful. Okay, that's a fairly good rule of thumb. At no stage should any exercise be painful. At stages, it may be uncomfortable, it may be unpleasant, but it should never, ever be painful. Keep going, still got another 15 seconds left to go. Still got another 15 seconds left to go. And then we're going to get a little bit of rest, and I'll go through what we are aiming to do in our next circuit. Time. Okay, guys, grab yourselves a quick drink if you need it. Grab yourselves a quick drink. Use this time to go through any extra mobilizations you feel you need. If you feel you need a little bit of extra shoulder work, extra hip work, extra knee warm up, now's the time to do it while we're waiting for this next one to start. Now, what we are going to start off with, is a circuit of 4 exercises. We are going to go through that circuit 3 times. Okay, we're going to go through that circuit 3 times. The first 2 rounds, like I mentioned before the warm-up, we're going to do 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. The final round is going to be 1 minute all the way through with no rest. So as soon as we're done with that one, bang, we start the next exercise. But I'll go through that as we go. Each of these exercises, some of them are a little bit more challenging than others. They are sort of hybrid exercises, a lot of them, where we mix 2 exercises. So make sure that you can see the screen during your rest periods. I'll be demoing during the rest period so that you can see what the next exercise coming up is. And then we're going to go through it as quickly as you can. I'll demo the first exercise, which is going to be a shuffle lunge. Okay, so it's going to be a little bounce, light on the feet, and then dropping into a lunge. So what we're going to look for is 2 shuffles. 1, 2, lunge. 1, 2, lunge. 1, 2, lunge. So it's that little bounce, bounce, lunge. Bounce, bounce, lunge each time. So shuffle of the feet each time, drop into that lunge. 1, 2, lunge. And because you do that 1, 2, you'll be swapping sides every time. Okay, swapping sides every time. We're going to go for 45 seconds at a time. Let's get ourselves ready. That's going to be our first exercise. And I'll demo exercise number 2 when we come to the rest. We'll be going in 5 seconds. So get yourselves ready. Going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Off we go. So it's that shuffle and lunge. That little bounce, bounce, lunge. Bounce, bounce, lunge. And you should alternate legs each lunge. So 1, 2, lunge. 1, 2, lunge each time. So nice and light on the feet. Just a little bounce, bounce, lunge. Bounce, bounce, lunge. So I've got one of my favorites next. It's a plank jack with shoulder touch. Don't worry, like I said, I'll demo during the rest period. You'll hopefully hear the beep as well from my phone, from my timer going off. But our plank jack is feet out, feet in, and you're also going to try and touch the opposite shoulder as well. Last couple of seconds of this one. And time. Next exercise will be feet out, feet in, feet out, feet in. But then you're also going to try and tap the opposite shoulder. This is our feet out, feet in, tapping the opposite shoulder. Ready, and off we go. Let's go. So press up position, feet out, feet in, lift one hand up, tap the opposite shoulder as your feet come in and out. So your feet are doing that jump and jack motion, out, in, out, in. And each time that your feet move, tap a shoulder, tap a shoulder. Keep alternating sides. So it is a challenging move. If you struggle with the coordination of it, just do the feet or just do the shoulder tap. As long as you are working through it, as long as you're working through it. That's it. Try and keep the hips down, try and keep the hips level. Don't let them creep up into the air. Last couple of seconds in this one. We're going to come up into a low burpee, 3 pulses. Time. Okay, guys, next one. Low burpee, hands down, feet out, feet in. 1, 2, 3. Feet out, feet in. 1, 2, 3. Feet out, feet in. 1, 2, 3. So there's no need to stand up at any stage. Ready? Let's go. Off we go. So again, feet out, feet in. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Feet out, feet in. 1, 2, 3. So it's that low burpee, the bottom half of a burpee, 3 pulses. So get the hips down, that little pulse each time. That little pulse, really low. No need to stand up. Keep the hips low as you can in that pulse. So at all stages, you should be at the bottom half of the squat. The lower you can get through that, the better. Last 10 seconds. Next one's going to be a frog crunch. You get a nice lie down for this one. Only for a split second at a time, of course. Time. Next one. Soles of your feet together, bottoms of your feet together, knees out to the side, hands onto the floor, and then full sit up. Try and touch your toes each time. This is the last exercise in round 1. Going into off we go. Let's go. So 45 seconds, that full crunch. Soles of your feet together, so bottoms of your feet together, knees out to the side, create that crunch position, lie back, crunch up. We're going to start again after this one. Okay, you're going to have 15 seconds to rest, and then we start again for the second round. This is good. Keep working. There is an option to make things a bit more challenging as well, but I'll go through that in a second. Last 10 seconds of this one. Let's keep working. Right to the end. Let's go. And time. Okay, guys, 15 seconds to recover. We're back into that shuffle and lunge. So 1, 2, lunge. 1, 2, lunge. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you can throw in a squat in there as well. Ready? And off we go. So it becomes jump, jump, squat. Jump, jump, lunge. Jump, jump, lunge. Jump, jump, squat. So you work through that third exercise. It adds a little bit of difficulty to it because it adds that coordination. So again, it's that shuffle, that 1, 2, squat, 1, 2, lunge, 1, 2, lunge, and then you're back to 1, 2, squat. So it's a little bit of added difficulty to that if you wish. Let's keep working. Still got 15 seconds. This is good work. So that little bounce, bounce, lunge, bounce, bounce, lunge. Again, if you need to take that impact out of it, that's absolutely fine. Just becomes 1, 2, lunge. 1, 2, lunge. Time. Okay, guys. 15 seconds. You're back to those plank jacks. So press up position or plank position. Feet out, feet in. Tap, 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 tap. Each time. Off we go. Let's go. So again, plank position. Press up position, whichever. I prefer press up position, but you can come down into a plank position. A little bit harder to do the shoulder tap from there though. Maybe that's why I prefer the press up position. We work our way through. This is good. 20 seconds left to go. 20 seconds left to go. All right. Let's keep working through this one. You've got your low burpee with 3 jacks. Or 3 pulses in the next one. So the jacks is the added difficulty. If you wish, the 3 pulses will be absolutely fine. Ready? Time. Okay, guys, you get 15 seconds to recover. If you want to do the more difficult version, feet hands down, feet out, feet in, and then it's the jack. So 1, 2, 3. Feet out, feet in. Or you go for the slightly easier 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so either one. Off we go. Let's go. So again, feet out, feet in, low pulse. So keeping the hips down. If you do the jacks, you keep the hips down. If you do the pulse, you keep the hips down. Looking good though. So you'll hear the beep. That'll end this one. Then we go into our frog crunch, our 4th exercise, our final exercise in round 2. And then we've got our 3rd round where we have 0 rest. We have no rest. And we go into that final round, which will be 4 minutes back to back with no rest. And then we get a bigger rest between the circuits. But we still got our frog crunch next. Last couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay, guys, frog crunch. So soles of your feet together, bottoms of your feet together. That full sit up. So reach back, tap the floor behind your head, reach forward, tap your toes. Ready? And off we go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Off we go. So reach back. Touch. So you can use your hands to help with a little bit of momentum if you wish. Keeping the knees wide down towards the floor. But that full sit-up is what we're looking for. That full challenge is what we're looking for. Now, at the end of this round, you will get 15 seconds to rest, but then we go through the next 4 minutes non-stop. We get through the next 4 minutes non-stop. Let's keep going. Last 15 seconds of this one. Looks good. Now again, guys, the number of reps you do doesn't really matter in this one, as long as you're giving a realistic effort, trying to keep that intensity up. Time. Okay, guys, that's the second round over. You've only got 15 seconds. We're back into that bounce, bounce, lunge, bounce, bounce, lunge is the next one, okay? Again, you can throw in the squat. Ready? And off we go. Let's go. So it's a full minute this time, a full minute. So again, if you want to add that little bit of difficulty to it, coordination, get yourself thinking, it's that 1, 2, lunge, 1, 2, lunge, 1, 2, squat. And then you start again each time. Equally, and again, I'm very lucky I managed to get a bit of practice of that one. If you don't have a chance to do that, if you don't feel confident with the added coordination, skip it out. It's absolutely fine. It's not a necessary addition. It's not a necessary addition. It's about just keeping you moving, keeping you thinking, keeping you light on your feet. Bounce, bounce, squat. It's really good. Again, if you need to take that impact out of it, take the impact out of it. Just turn it into a reverse lunge. We are into overtime, okay? This is where we currently rest, but now we have got 15 extra seconds of work before we swap. We've got our plank jacks. So press up position, feet out, feet in, tap the opposite shoulder in 3, 2, 1. Let's go, off we go. So we're changing over now, We're into that plank jack, okay? That plank jack, that press up position, feet out, feet in. You lift one hand, tap the shoulder, lift one hand, tap the shoulder. So again, it needs a little bit of rhythm, not something I'm known for, and I can manage it. But again, if you are an even worse dancer than I am, don't worry about doing both parts. Think about doing just one part. This is good. So again, feet out, feet in, feet out, feet in. Yep, I see a couple of people are only doing the first half, a couple of people are only doing the second half. That's fine. Absolutely fine, as long as you are working hard, Like I say, this is the final round. This is the second exercise, so you've still got 2 more after this. Okay, 15 extra seconds. We're in the bonus time, the overtime. So again, we've got our low burpee, 3 pulses. So hands down, feet out, feet in, pulse, pulse, pulse. Feet out, feet in, pulse, pulse, pulse. Ready, and change, off we go. So again, no need to stand up. You keep the hips low. Whenever you're in that pulse, try and get your hips low, but also keep your chest up. Don't allow yourself to collapse into that kind of position. It's that chest up, head forward, pulse, 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 feet out, feet in, pulse, pulse, pulse each time. Looking good though. Let's keep working. We've got 3 circuits altogether. This is the end of the first circuit. So we've got this exercise plus 1 more, which is going to be our frog crunch, probably the easiest of the lot. At the very least, the one that requires the least thinking. 15 extra seconds. The next one, the final one, soles of your feet together. You know what you're doing now at this stage. Is that back, touch the floor, come up, touch your toes each time. Going in, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So again, lie back, touch the floor, come up, touch the toes. Let's go, final minute. This is it, just work hard as you can now. This is the last one. You won't have to do any of these exercises in this way again. So this is it. This is the last minute of this one. This 12-minute block will be finished. This 12-minute block will be done. We won't have to worry about it at all, okay? So 3 times round, that is it. 3 times round, that is it. Let's keep working. 30 seconds in, 30 seconds to go. So out of everything you've done in that first circuit, you've only got 20 seconds left to go altogether. Less than 20 seconds, in fact. Let's keep working. Remember, high intensity, so make sure you bring that intensity to it. You will have an opportunity to let your heart rate come down after this. You're in the bonus time, the last 10 seconds now. Let's keep working right to the very end, Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, guys, grab yourselves a drink. Sit yourselves down for a little bit. Let me just reset that. There we go. So our next one is another 4 exercise block. And we're actually going to start off with what I think is probably the most challenging. It is a half tombstone. Now, a full tombstone is a full burpee and a full get up, like we did in the warm up. The half tombstone is in between, where we never actually stand up in between. Okay, so the half tombstone is where we never stand up in between. So we'll start off on your belly. You're going to come up, feet come in, roll over onto your back. From there, roll over onto your belly. So it's going to be head facing one way when you're on your belly, head facing the other way when you're on your back. But you're just going to work between those 2 positions as quickly as you can, okay? However you get over is absolutely fine. That's your first exercise. Like before, what I'll do is during the rest periods, I'll be demoing the next exercise each time. A little bit simpler, this one, but that doesn't mean that it's easier. Just a little bit less coordination required. That's probably the most challenging one. Okay, let's go for it. We got 5 seconds, so make sure you're ready. All you need is the bit of space for you to lie down in. So whenever you lie down, you should be in a straight line, back and forth, Whenever you change over, you should still be in the same straight line. You shouldn't be at an angle facing either way. It should be in the same line, just swapped about north-south. Let's get ourselves ready. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So that half tombstone. So no need to stand up at any stage. So again, lying on your back. So on your back, from your back, get over onto your belly. From there, get over onto your back. And just keep swapping between those two as quickly as you can. So again, belly to back, belly to back. But you have to keep swapping the direction that your head's going. What I don't want to see is if I look at the cameras, I just see somebody rolling back and forth, facing the same way. We're going to try and keep that action. So the next one you're going to come into is going to be 3 narrow press-ups with a pike jump. So hands narrower than your shoulders. You can do the press-ups from your knees. It's fine if necessary. Last couple of seconds of this one. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, guys. So next one, 3 narrow press-ups. 1, 2, 3. Pike jump. So feet jump in, land flat on the floor if you can. Jump back out. 1, 2, 3. Pike jump. 1, 2, 3. Off we go. Let's go. So again, that 1, 2, 3 pike jump. So the pike jump is just feet in, feet out. So again, press up position, feet in, feet out. You think of this as one of the principles we sometimes talk about at Spartans training. Is talking about being back in the game. So if you are on the floor, you want to be able to pop back up onto your feet so that you are back in the game. If you're on the floor, doesn't matter what code of rugby you're playing, if you are on the floor, you're basically useless, so you may as well get up there. Your next one is going to be a burpee with a tuck jump. Now, the difference with this tuck jump is I want it to be flow as much as possible, so no press up. So what we're going to try and do is just going to be that down, feet out, feet in, knees up. Hands down, feet out, feet in, knees up. Just keep it flowing. It's not about being as explosive as possible. It's about trying to keep that flow going. Ready? And off we go. Let's go. So again, if you need to take that impact out of it, do that. Okay, so if it needs to be hands down, step, 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 step. Stand, fine. But make sure you're doing the maximum effort with whatever one you can do. So again, it's about that flow as best you can. So again, try and cycle through them. It should be blurred lines as to where one of the reps finishes and the next one starts. So I'm seeing a couple of people, they're getting that tuck and then they're landing and then they start the next one. It should be blurred, so it's down, straight down into that next rep. So there's no pause. There's no way you could say that's one, that's the next one. It's just they cross over blurred lines. Let's keep going. Time. Okay, guys, 15 seconds to recover. Your last one, alternating jackknife, lying on your back as you sit up. Clap your hands behind one of your legs and alternate which leg you do each rep. Off we go. Now, let's go. So again, that alternating jackknife. So one leg kicks up, you clap your hands behind your leg, and you alternate which leg you clap behind each time. So we keep swapping between those two. Here we go. That's 15 seconds in. It's good. So you can go more focused on the crunch. So you could get up much higher. So you can do a full sit-up, barely lift your leg, or you could do it where you lift your leg a lot and you don't lift your body an awful lot. As long as you're able to clap your hands behind your leg, doesn't matter which variation of that you do. This takes us into round number 2. So you have 15 seconds to rest, and then we start again with that half tombstone. Okay, we start with that half tombstone. Time, 15 seconds to rest, 15 seconds to rest. So your half tombstone, start on your belly, flip yourself over onto your back, and then back onto your belly as quickly as you can. Going in, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Let's go. So from your belly, flip over quickly as you can, onto your back, flip straight back onto your belly. If you are doing this alongside a teammate, alongside a housemate, a partner, careful not to kick them in the face as you flail around. Let's make sure we change over quickly though. Change over quickly. Try and keep it as compact as possible. Again, if you are flexible or more flexible, you should hopefully be able to come up explosively, jump your feet in, and straight back onto your back. However, I'm not that flexible, which is why I've shifted back about 12 inches doing that. Let's keep working. So again, that takes us into our next one, which is our 3 press-ups and pike jump. 3 press-ups and pike jump. Time. Okay, guys, 15 seconds to rest. 15 seconds to rest. So 3 press-ups. So again, 1, 2, 3. Pike jump. 1, 2, 3. Pike jump. Ready? And off we go. Let's go. So we're straight into that 3 press-ups or 3 narrow press-ups. Hands narrower than your shoulders. And once you've done those 3 into that single pike jump, straight back out, you're then into that burpee tuck or burpee variation. Again, trying to keep that flow between them as much as you can. When you do that pike jump, try and get your feet flat on the floor. Try and land your feet flat on the floor so the whole foot or the whole bottom of the foot is in contact with the floor. You've only got to do it 1 more time at least after this. 5 seconds. We're then into that burpee tuck after 15 seconds of rest. Time. Okay, guys, 15 seconds to recover. Burpee tuck, again, flow is the name of the game, okay? That flow. So again, hands down, feet out, feet in, tuck, hands down, feet out, feet in, tuck. So it's 1 step after the other. Ready? Let's go, up we go. So again, try and flow the reps together as best you can. That goal is to get that smooth movement for the full 45 seconds. It's not necessarily about how many burpees you do. It's not about how high you jump. It's about trying to make that smooth movement from one to the next. One movement to the next. It's good. So again, as you stand up out of that burpee, you should already be powering up because that's your jump. You don't stand up and then jump. This is good though. From the videos that I'm seeing, flipping through the screen, it's actually looking really, really solid. That's what I want to see. That's what we want to look at. The last couple of seconds, then you've got your alternating jackknife. Time. Okay, guys. Onto your back again. That alternating jackknife. 1 leg comes up. Clap the hands behind the leg. Clap the hands behind the leg. As long as you clap your hands behind your leg each time, how you go about doing that is up to you. Let's go. So again, if you want to do a big kick, you can clap. Just like a single leg raise. You can almost do it like a full sit-up where you barely lift your leg at all, or like most people, like me, you do somewhere in between. And try and rep them out as best you can. Try to have no point during this 45 seconds where you are lying still. There's no point where you're relaxing during this 45 seconds. You're trying to bring that intensity to it. As soon as you've finished 1 rep, you're already starting the next rep. You're already beginning that effort into the next rep. This is good. Now again, this takes us into our final round. Now remember our final round, you guys know this already. You get 15 seconds of rest at the start, and then we get no rest until we've done all 4 exercises. That takes us to the end of the second block then. So we are back to that half tombstone for the final time. 2, 1, let's go. I keep showing this to the screen as if you can see anything. And all you can see is a bright white phone screen, but it is 1 minute per exercise. So 15 seconds longer, so a whole third longer again than where you were at. And again, from your belly onto your back, from your belly onto your back, from your back onto your belly. Again, nice quick transitions, I just realized I'm lying here on the floor like Kate Winslet in Titanic. Maybe Burt Reynolds in front of the fire. I just need a bearskin rug. Let's keep working. We got right to the end, then you got your 3 narrow press-ups and pike jump. We are into overtime, last 15 seconds. So this is the longest round. Each one is a minute long rather than 45 seconds long. I guarantee it probably feels more than a third harder. So we're going into those 3 narrow push-ups with pike jump. Now, off you go. So 3 narrow push-ups. So again, feet narrower or hands narrower than your shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Pike jump, feet land flat on the floor. Straight back out. 1, 2, 3. Pike jump, feet in, feet out. Pike jump. Okay, so 3 press-ups, 1 pike jump every time. Just bum, 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 bum. Just that nice rhythm between them. So 1, 2, 3, jump, 1, 2, 3, jump, 1, 2, 3, jump. If you can get your press-ups that fast, I'll be very impressed. So again, we've finished this one. Full minute of it. We're approaching that overtime, that bonus time. There we go, 15 seconds, extra 15 seconds. Then you've got your burpee with tuck. So burpee tuck jump coming up in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, flow between those two exercises as best you can. That's the target, that's the name of the game, that flow, that smooth movement. Again, I don't care if you only manage 3 or 4 reps, if you're able to flow through them, create that flow. So you're by creating that flow, you're removing any of the high impact stuff. As you land each time, you drop straight down, hands straight down onto the floor. I know your lungs are going to be gasping at you at this point, but remember, you do know what's coming next. You've got your alternating jackknife where you will be lying on the floor. Let's keep going. You've still got 20 seconds remaining, so we're almost at that overtime position. And off we go. We're in overtime. Last 15 seconds, then you've got your alternating jackknife. So last 10 seconds on this one, and then we've got our alternating jackknife. Changing over in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Off we go. So again, lying on your back, legs straight. One comes up. That alternating kick each time. That alternating kick each time, as much as you can. It's good. 15 seconds in, 45 seconds left to go. And again, you will get a longer rest. I promise you, the final circuit or the final set is much, much shorter. Okay, so everything so far has been 12 minutes. The last one is just going to be 6 minutes total. Okay, so the first 2 rounds were 12 minutes apiece. The warm-up, to be fair, wasn't far off 12 minutes. So the last one is just going to be 6 minutes. Last 15 seconds, let's keep working right to the very end. Let's keep working. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, guys, grab yourselves a drink. Grab yourselves a drink. I'm just going to reset this timer. You say you get a longer rest. There you go, that's ready to go. So you get a longer rest before we start the next one. The next one, like I say, is only going to be 3 exercises per round. We're only going to do 2 rounds of it, so that makes us 6 minutes. That makes us 6 minutes. However, that does mean we do 1 round for 45 seconds and 1 round for the full 60. Okay, so it's just 1 round 45, 1 round full 60. For each of the exercises, there are 2 options. There is a harder option and an easier option, or a higher impact option for one of them. You choose whichever one suits you. If you want to try the harder version, but you're not sure you'll be able to do it, you can swap halfway through, okay? So if you do it and you realize that it's too hard, or maybe it's too challenging, you can swap to the slightly easier version halfway through. So what we are going to go for is going to be either a squat thrust, or a donkey kick for the first one. I'll demo both those exercises ready for you before we go. So our squat thrust, we've done quite a lot of this kind of movement already. So press up position, and it's just going to be both feet in, both feet out. That's it. Feet in, feet out. Feet in, feet out. That's it. One movement each in, one movement out. The harder version is a donkey kick. The donkey kick is where you do not let your feet hit the ground on the way in. So you actually start in this position and finish in this position each time. So it becomes a kick in and out in one movement. So it becomes knees in, out, knees in, out, knees in, out. Trying to keep your feet off. If you try that and you get too tired to continue, just swap to the squat thrust. Let's get ourselves ready. We're going to go in 5 seconds. So again, squat thrust or donkey kick. 2, 1, let's go. Off we go. So again, knees in, knees out. That's good. If you're doing the donkey kick, after a couple of reps, try and get rid of that little mini bounce in between. And as soon as your feet hit the floor, you're into the next rep each time. Let's keep working. So again, that knees in, knees out. Good. Seeing some good effort with the donkey kicks at times. Just keep the shoulders over the top of the wrists. Don't creep back too far. Creep back too far, it's hard to get a rhythm with it. Less than 20 seconds left in this one. We're then going to come into, the next one's going to be really simply a jump and lunge with a bit of height, or a reverse lunge. So your jumping lunge, just feet down. As you come up, swing the arms, drive them up, try and get a bit of height off the floor each time. Careful of your ceilings. Time, 15 seconds to rest. So it's either jumping lunge with a bit of height, use your arms to drive you up into the air, or hands up, reverse lunge. That's your other option. Ready, off we go. So it's either a jumping lunge, focusing on height, or it is a reverse lunge with your hands stretched up into the air as high as you can get. Obviously you can, some of you guys I know are fans of Les Mills. You should be well used to this one. I think it's, is it combat it's used in? Not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've done any Les Mills. Back when I worked in David Lloyd years ago. Let's keep working, guys, keep working. 15 seconds. The last one is more about just whichever cardio exercise you prefer, high knees or jumping jacks. And again, it's just about getting going as hard and as fast as you can in that one. So, time, okay, guys, your final one is either high knees, so just on the spot, driving those knees up as hard and as fast as you can, or jumping jacks, creating that full movement through the arms and legs. Either one, just work as hard as you can, 45 seconds. Let's go, off we go. This is the end of round one on circuit 3. Or would you say circuit 3? Round 1, no wait. Circuit 1 on round 3. Yeah, whichever, you know what, I think you know what I mean. So at the end of this, you'll get 15 seconds of rest, and then we start again. Again, try and keep it nice and active, nice and quick. Remember, this is high intensity, so we are trying to push that intensity as best we can. Just drive into that there. So it's almost a sprint in those high knees, and you are like a cheerleader on speed if you're doing the jumping jacks. Last 5 seconds, you get 15 seconds to recover, and then we start off with the squat thrust or donkey kick. Time. Okay, so again, we go to 1 minute. If we're going for the donkey kick, which some of you did go for, which is great, try and go knees in, out. Try and not do that little bounce in between. So it's knees in and out, in and out. Off we go, let's go. So this is a full minute. It's the second round. It's also the final round of anything we do today. Let's keep working. Again, if you do need an alternative, I see 1 or 2 alternatives going in there, that's fine, absolutely fine. But just make sure you are working hard, especially with high intensity training. It is primarily about getting your heart rate elevated and trying to maintain that elevated heart rate. The recovery is just enough to get another round out of you. That's all it should be. That's all it should be each time. Remember, this is a full minute, so it's 3 minutes back to back. All the other ones were 4 minutes back to back. We're going to be changing over into your jumping lunge or your reverse lunge. Again, if you want to play with it, you can do your jumping lunge to begin with. When fatigue takes over, just change it into that reverse lunge. 2, 1, let's change, off we go. So we're into that reverse lunge or jumping lunge, reverse lunge or jumping lunge. Make sure you use your arms, big swing up into the air, big drive up into the air, create that momentum for yourself. Use that to help you up, drive that height. Obviously, if you've got any low ceilings, low light fittings, just be careful not to smash your hands into them. Those of you that did the lockdown sessions in lockdown 1 will remember me busting a light bulb in the early weeks for exactly that reason. You'll be unsurprised to know, if you know me as well, that light stayed out for at least a month and a half. I'd be surprised if it was only a month and a half. Let's keep working. You're in the overtime. Your last one then is those high knees and jumping jacks. High knees and jumping jacks. Ready and change over. Let's go. So high knees or jumping jacks for the final minute. This is 60 seconds. Now again, if you struggle to keep that intensity up, do 10 jumping jacks, followed by 10 high knees, followed by 10 jumping jacks, and just keep that pressure up as much as you can. So make sure you are pushing that pace. So seeing a couple of videos where arms are kind of starting to flail, sort of nice and easy. I want you to actually pull them up and down, like you're trying to take off. So that movement, really getting them going, they should be a blur. If you start to slow down, if you start to tire out, just immediately change over into those high knees. As soon as you start to slow down those, straight back into those jumping jacks each time. You've only got 20 seconds left in total out of today's entire workout. Let's make sure we keep working right to the very end. You're in that overtime. You're in that overtime, the last 15 seconds. Last 15 seconds. We got nothing left after that. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. 6 minutes. Done. 3 circuits. Done. Everything. Done. Okay, guys. So before anybody logs off, before I forget to tell you, next week, so next Tuesday, is my wedding anniversary. So I will not be doing the session next Tuesday. Okay, well, I will try and get a workout put together this week, and I'll upload it onto the IGR page. But there won't be a live session from me at this time next week. But we will be back on the week after that, because lockdown won't quite have ended for the rugby teams yet. Or for anybody yet, I suppose. But apart from that, guys, I think that's the only thing I needed to mention. Really, really well done. Thank you for everybody that joined me again tonight. As always, if anybody does want to tag me in their Instagram stories, or even just provide me with a bit of feedback, reach out. I'm at Neil Gallagher Training on Instagram, at Neil Gallagher Training on Facebook as well. And if you do have any questions, any queries, anything you'd like me to put into future sessions, just message me and I'll try and squeeze that in some way or other. Okay, guys? But for now, this is Neil signing off. Well done.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Neil.
You're very welcome, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, bye.